Hey there, teachers! It's Hank. This video is to share information about the next week's Google Classroom sync with Skyward. Mrs. Kissinger has created a document which outlines your two options you will need to select from in the next few days. Basically, around Wednesday, the IT department will activate your new Google Classroom rosters for the coming school year. You can choose to use those classes or create your own for the upcoming year. The document attached outlines the two options and includes pros and cons for each. Mrs. Kissinger has also included information about using assignments or materials created in Google Classroom and placing those into another. Now over to Miss Kissinger.
All right, just a reminder, when your classes come over after the sync, you might want to edit the title because the title is going to be based on what it reads in Skyward. So remember to do that, you're going to click on the three dots here, and then you can click Edit, and then you can change the title of your class and add any information you would like. Several of you have spent the summer creating some content in a test class, and now when those new classes come in from Skyward, when they populate in, they will not have that content in them that you have been working on to create. So you might want to move those posts or reuse the posts that you've already created within your new class. So let's pretend that this is a class that's synced from Skyward. And I have got a lot of material that I've already created in my MV Tech Professional Development page this summer. I want to move that into this new class that came in from Skyward. So I would come up here and click on Classwork, Create, and I'm going to reuse a post. Now when I click this, it's going to say, what class do you want to go in and get that content from? So I'm going to go in the MV Tech Professional Development page, and notice that I have two options here. I can pull in assignments that appears the clipboard with the lines on it for the writing, or I can choose material, which appears as a square with a little bookmark. Those are the two options you have for bringing in from the classes that you've maybe been creating as test classes. So I'm going to bring in this assignment, and when I click it, notice that it turns gray, and now I have the option to reuse that assignment from my MV Tech Trio page. So when I click reuse, it's going to bring it in to my new class that has been created through the Little SIS sync with Skyward. It comes in as an assignment because that's how it was set up. I can change the title if I would like. I can change the instructions. I can also change what I've added to that document. I can come over here to the topic, and right now that class doesn't have any topics set up in it, so I can create a topic. So let's call this Week 1 Lessons. If I had topics already created there, I would choose from those populated topics. I can change the amount of points that this is for. Let's make it 10. I can assign the students that I want to receive this assignment, and then when I'm ready, I'm just going to go ahead and click Assign. Now, if I don't want that to appear yet, I can save it as a draft. Notice I did not click the Assign button, so when it appears in my class that's synced from Skyward, it now just appears as a draft. When I'm ready to assign it, so the kids will not see this draft until I'm ready. When I'm ready, I'm going to come up here and click Edit, and now I'm going to press Assign. Now it says students will see this immediately. And that's how you can bring things in, save them as drafts, and then when you're ready, you can post them or make them active for students. Let's go through that one more time. That was with an assignment. Now I'll bring in some material. So before I do that, I'm going to create a topic here, and let's call this topic Week 1, add that, create another topic, Week 2, create another topic, Week 3. You might think about setting up your topics for e-learning in here with the week and the dates, because if everybody kind of does that consistently, it will make it much easier for the students to be able to find their work, and specifically the parents to be able to come in and find the work. So now that I have some topics created, I'm going to go up here and click Create, reuse a post. I'm going to go out. It automatically pulls up the ones that I was just working in from MV Tech Trio. I can go back out and pick from another class, but I'm going to stay in VTech Trio. It brings in those assignments. This time I want to bring in some material, so I'm going to pick this Cami on iPad guidance draft or guidance document. Notice now I can click reuse. It's going to bring in that template for me to add any information, and I can change anything here I want. The topic is Cami. I want to delete that out and pick. Now I have the option to select where I want that to go. So maybe it's now week 3, and I'm going to put this material for week 3. Now notice it's saving up here. It's saved it, but I'm not going to actually post it yet. I'm just going to close this window, and when I do, then that is saved here under week 3 as a draft. And when I'm ready now for the students to see that, I'm going to go in here, click Edit, and then I'm going to click Post. Now the students will see this immediately. So that is how to bring some of the assignments and materials that you've been working on this summer into the class that is synced from Skyward. Bring them in as drafts, and then when you are ready to activate them, go ahead and assign or post them by clicking on the Edit button here in the snowman. I'd like to share with you some creative things that I'm starting to see happen in Google Classroom across our district. So Rick Jesh has created a Google Classroom for our NEA members. If you are in NEA and you haven't joined that yet, click on Join for his invitation, and that's the way I think Rick is going to be sharing out some information with NEA members this year. I've also seen the high school English department creating a shared Google Classroom page, and then they are going in and adding content that's specific to their English department and resources, and even for e-learning. So if you are part of this classroom as a teacher, then you can go in and pull and reuse content with that reuse post option into your class. So that is a great idea if, like, across the district, the first grades, or even within your building, the first grade teachers want to create a shared Google Classroom where they house content, and then the others can go in and reuse the post or reuse assignments or materials that were created in that classroom. That's a great way to think about working smarter and not harder. Teachers giving to teachers and teachers sharing with one another is what is going to help get us through this upcoming school year.
I'm sure all of you are just as excited to get back in the classroom and learning again as I am. I'll see you all August 7th.